Hey, what's up everyone? This is Gabriel from jgcrespomusic.com, and in today's lesson I'm going to talk about ear training and specifically how you can train your ear to identify chord progressions in almost any song. Okay, so let's get into it. So we're going to start with the number system. Again, if you're not familiar with the number system, refer to my other video explaining how the diatonic number system works. The number one thing to remember with this, it is called ear training, not guess who knows this already. So you have to train your ear, and this is a skill that can be learned. Now, if you're born with perfect pitch, obviously that's an advantage, but relative pitch is what we're going to develop here, and that is our sense of what is happening, the harmonic movement in the chord progression, okay? We're going to imagine the major scale going up in chords. So as opposed to going up in individual notes, I'm now going to go up in block chords, starting with C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished, and then C finally, okay? So we're going to do this with triads just to train our ear. 3-note chords, not 4-note chords, 7th chords, or any kind of altered chords, just because we need to get the fundamental training in our ears and be able to identify these chords, okay? 2 basic things I'm going to be listening to when it comes to training my ear for these chords is the basic sound between major and minor, okay? So when I hear a major chord, do, mi, sol, I'm listening for that major third in the middle. So remember, a chord, simple way to identify or think of a chord is kind of like a sandwich. You have 2 pieces of bread. That's my root and my fifth. And in the middle are my meat and cheese or vegetables if you're vegan. And that is what determines whether the chord is major or minor. Okay, so the middle, we're focusing on the third. So again, I'm listening for that kind of happy sound or. Okay, so let's put numbers to our chord system. Again, the video on diatonic chord system will explain more in depth this concept, but I'm just going to write them out really quickly. So we're going to start with our 1 chord being major, 2 chord is minor, 3 chord is minor, 4 is major, 5 is major, 6 is minor, 7 is diminished, and we come back to 1, which I often like to put in parentheses because this is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So we have do and do, so that's the same chord. So it's not going to be 8, it's really going to just be another 1 chord, okay? So my simple method for ear training is based upon listening to these chords in block chord form. So what is block chord form? Block chords are playing all of these chords in root position as opposed to inverting them or flipping the order of the same notes, okay? So I'm going to start with this basic ladder, okay? I'm going to draw 6 lines, okay? And I'm going to put my 1 chord here. I'm going to skip above my 2 and 3. I'm going to add our 4 chord, 5 chord, and in minor we have our 6 chord. Now this method is super effective because we're training our ear mainly with the 1, 4, and 5 chords in the beginning. We only have 1 chord that is not major, and that is our 6th chord, which in the key of C major would be A minor. In this exercise, my 1 chord is always major, so I have a point of reference. Okay? Now, from chord 1 to chord 2, I'm listening for movement. If I hear something like this, it didn't move. So therefore, based on process of elimination, I'm going to say I'm playing another 1 chord. Okay? Now, how would we know the difference between 4 and 5? Well, in some cases, I'm going to kind of use process of elimination to figure this out. So let me play a simple 4 chord progression, and I will walk you through exactly how I would figure out this chord progression. Great, so let's listen to that one more time. Cool, so hopefully you heard at the end, I'm hearing a different chord at the end, and we know that 1, 4, and 5 are major chords, so my only option for a different chord would have to be 6. So I'm hearing 6 at the very end, so I'm going to fill that in. Now, we already know that it didn't move from chord 1 to chord 2, it stayed on the 1 chord, so there was no movement. And we know, based on our ladder, that it is going to go up, okay, if it moves, and it did move. So I'm going to listen now. Let's listen to these 4 chords one more time, and let's focus in on the movement from chord 3, our mystery chord at this moment, to the last chord, chord 6. Okay, let's listen to it one more time. I hear a small leap from G to A, so I'm going to, process of elimination, say it didn't jump. It didn't go from 4 to 6, it went from 5 to 6. And there you have it. 1, 1, 5, 6. Cool, so those are a couple quick tips on how to train your ear to identify chord progressions and to start using your ear to hear songs and be able to figure them out and eventually transcribe them. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video.